This is Oleg. Welcome to Oregon Preparedness. Such a nice day today here in Northwest. 50s, beautiful sunshine, such a wonderful weather, great feeling, very crispy air. And here I am on this playground here. It's nice and quiet right now. In the afternoon there will be more kids. But I come here to work out. I quit my gym, as I mentioned before, because those clowns wanted me to wear a mask. But besides that, even worse, I had to make an appointment to come and work out. So to which I said, no way, Jose, I'm not going to gym under those conditions. So I work out outside. You know, this playground, I do lots of push-ups here and various exercises. And here is this park where, you know, I walk in circles, trying to get my 2 miles in, you know, of walking. Anyway, to the video. A couple of days ago I made a video and I was talking about where would you move to, where you gonna move to if you have to. And I was talking about few different options, few different states. But I had the thought that crossed my mind, and I wanted to ask you another question, something you should think about. If you don't really have an idea where to move to, from where you live, you feel like you should, but you don't know where to. I think, in my opinion, least you can do is move out of the city, regardless state you're in. The West Coast, as most of you probably know, is crazy, with whacked out people for the most part. You know, from California all the way to, you know, Seattle, the whole West Coast is crazy. But once again, all this craziness, I don't know about California, but both Oregon and Washington, it's mainly in the city, you know, in the country, or even in the smaller towns that are more adjacent to the city. People are more rational. Look at these beautiful flowers, man. This is so nice. Today is what, 10th of April. And they're already blooming. I've seen some blooming cherries already blooming too, which is nice to see. I'm loving it. Oh, I love spring, although fall is my favorite. Anyway, if you just move away from the city, you know, if you're in West Coast, if you're in New York or some other states with just insane governors, then the answer is, and if you have no idea where to move to, you have no friends or relatives that you could move to them to some other states in semi-bug out location possibly, then you should at least move out of the city you're in, because that's where all the problems are already, and that's where all the problems gonna be progressively getting bigger and worse. Portland, for example, you know, it's just the beginning of March. Already there have been more than 200 shootings in Portland. Just year and a half ago, Portland used to be one of the most peaceful and quietest cities. And now over 200 shootings in just barely over 2 months. It's like 3 shootings a day, basically. You know, you hear on the news all the time. Armed robbery at gunpoint. Shootings here, shootings there. I'm not a lot in Portland. You know, I come to Portland every night, but I'm driving all over state of Washington mainly. And but a friend of mine, he still does some taxi work, and he himself many times heard shootings in different parts of the day. At night more, of course. Look at this nice stream, guys. This is perfect. This is just beautiful. I love it. You know, if you're bugging out, and I digress a little bit, and if you're looking for bug out location, if you can somehow find a stream even of this size, I doubt there's any fish in it, but at least you have supply of water. It's running water, especially if it's a year-round creek. At this particular point, it's about maybe 12 feet wide, I would say. And the water is clean enough. You can wash your clothes, you can wash yourself, you can clean it and filter it, and you'll have drinking water. Anyway, this is the kind of stream you want to be near. At least the river is, of course, is ideal, but at least something like this where the water is moving, and it is slowly moving there. You can tell. Let me zoom it in a little bit so you can see. Yeah, the water is slightly moving there. Anyhow, so you gotta move out of the city, definitely. I'm planning to move out of Portland. I'm not sure if I'm going to move or when to South Carolina, as I mentioned before, or Idaho. I would say it's about 80% chance that I will move to one of those states, but not quite yet. There are some things that are in a way to just make a move like that immediately, but most likely, if God's willing, I want to move at least across the river, across Columbia River, to Vancouver, Washington. Much better compared to last summer when all that protests in Portland, BLM, BS was going on. Vancouver, nothing. Very quiet and peaceful. People just enjoy themselves. Like, even take police for instance. In Portland, you hardly see any police, and that is one of the reasons why crime's on the rise. Vancouver, I know it's a different state, that's probably why. People, there's cops as usual everywhere, and none of us like cops when we get a ticket, but we all know and we see what happens when there is no cops. So cops are definitely an important puzzle in society, and I'm thankful when I see them, actually. Just need to be easy on the gas pedal and don't get in trouble with them. Anyway, the moral to the story is move out of the city. The sooner the better, because spring is coming, and that means most likely there will be more burning, more destruction, more protests, more problems. Last summer was BLM. Who knows what they're gonna come up with this summer? I mean, these guys, they're relentless, and their ability to come up with quote-unquote important topics and subjects, they're masters at that. So if you're away from the city, at least get into some nearby town. I'd say at least 20-30 miles away. That way you're close enough to the city if you need it for whatever reason. Yet you're far enough where you don't see these crazy people who are all drugged up, especially now in Oregon. It is legal to possess hard drugs on yourself if you're a user. And I see that. I mean, I don't know who takes them or not, but I see people on the road acting really crazy. Much worse than they ever used to before. And I'm sure it's because people are under influence of drugs driving, and probably alcohol as well. So last thing you want to do is be a victim of some person under influence of drugs or alcohol, or some random shooting. I heard of one Russian woman, her car, she was just in the wrong place in the wrong time, and this was just recently, a few months ago. She had 14 bullets that went through her car, miraculously, she didn't get hurt. It was just a pure miracle. So, oh man, those birds, I love those birds, sound so nice. Which one it is? Which one is it? I don't see anything. Anyway, I'm gonna conclude this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you haven't, and I will look forward talking to you in the next upload. Take care.